Was double Z and Cheetah Spirit was a bad last. Homeward bound. They've got about 280 metres to go, where the leader was My Turpin being tackled by Andromache. Behind them was Matt Just, but My Turpin in front with about 200 metres to go from Andromache. Matt Just is now flat along the inside rail. My Turpin in front, about 80 metres to go, is holding Andromache at bay. Matt Just can't win, but My Turpin is starting to draw clear, and it's an all-the-way win. My Turpin down to the line has won it by almost 2 lengths to Matt Just, and a hit-away third is Andromache.
Impressive win by My Turpin. The race was considered a match in 3, and the favourite Matt Just ran second at 5-4 from Andromache in third placing. And Keith Hillier spoke with trainer Graham Warwick after the race.
And that was a pretty impressive performance from My Turpin, having only his third start.
Yeah, Bernie, we expect him to go a good race because he was a bit stiff at Sandown, and he proved us right. We wanted time and ground, and he gave it to us today.
Well, in fact, he was bred to run the distance.
Certainly, yes. By son of Lee Fallu, out of Challenge, possibly the best club in New Zealand.
Any reason why it took so long for him to start his career?
Well, it's a breed that needs time, needs patience, and give it to them, they give it back to you.
That, of course, was Bernie O'Brien doing the interview there. In the second event, Miss Capital was the favourite at 2-1.
Ayatira running third, being hard-ridden. They're followed by Gala Black, Barbary Bell. Back behind them, Super Grit, and the others are headed by Gay Carlotta and also Petunia, being hard-ridden. Homeward bound inside the 250-metre mark. Miss Capital being tackled by Faint Love on the outside. They've drawn clear from Ayatiro and also Gala Black, but inside the 200-metre mark, the leader was Miss Capital by 3/4 of a length of Faint Love, who's trying hard. Miss Capital is set in front. Faint Love is trying hard down the outside, but Miss Capital is going to be too good, drifting off the track, but Miss Capital wins it by a length and a half to Faint Love. Ayatiro has run third, Super Grit fourth.
Impressive win by the favourite Miss Capital with 58 kilos, but leading all the way over 1,400 metres and battling on strongly at the finish to win from Faint Love and Ayataroa, and Brendan Ryan making the most of his limited opportunities, another winner, and he speaks now with Keith Hillier.
Well, that's 2 wins from 2 starts from Miss Capital, Bernie. She's a very talented filly.
Yes, very talented filly. You know, she's a little bit better than these horses here today.
Well, she had to be because she carried 58 kilos.
Yes, it was a very good effort. Very.
Were you worried when she was tackled about 200 metres from the post?
Not really, because last time here when I pulled the stick on her, she found a bit, and I knew today she'd find just that little bit you needed, you know.
Could this be the end of the last surviving battle star?
A promising colt was backed in to start favourite 10-9 on.
A break then to Prime Prince, Barmy Boy, hard-ridden, Better Chatain, Razor Toast, El Conde, followed further back by Tiger Talk and also Apeo. On the home turn at the 300 metres mark they run. Out wide the leader back marker from Berkey Rife is there, and along the inside rail is Grey Console, and there followed by Pride of Century starting to wind up at Racing Greenlee. Inside the 200 metre mark and back marker being tackled by Pride of Century, the favourite one going a bit the better. Back marker about a neck in front, Pride of Century about to draw level. Pride of Century puts the head in front, and Pride of Century, the top weight, is starting to draw clear. Pride of Century wins it by a length and a half, the back marker. Grey Console has run third.
Very impressive first-up performance by Pride of Century. Plenty more wins in store in better company for him. And Keith Hillier spoke with his trainer, Tommy Harrison, after the race.
Tom, you've been saying for a few days that Pride of Century is potentially a Derby winner. Did he justify that rating today?
Yes, I'm sure he did. He won very easily, and he did justify the opinion I've got of him. And, you know, like I think I'll just put him up against the best now and see what they can do.
You must have been delighted, Tom, with the way that he knuckled down to the task of going to the post.
Yes, he's always had that trait. That's the part that really turns you on. When the business is on, he can accelerate, he finds it. He's not one of these that when they, once they head him off, he's got to come back and have a go at it.
Very impressive colt, Pride of Century. Race 4, the favourite here was Advice at 7-4.
Back behind them on the outside then was Dark Dew, and last of all there was Frasquio. Homeward bound inside the 400 metre mark, the leader Luna Hose by a neck now to Lehman. Up on the outside, making a line of 3 was Turbulent Water Out, and when was Advice starting to wind up and is coming home hard, and behind them was Willow Star, and Sungai Wong is being hard-ridden inside the 200 metre mark. Out wide, the leader was Advice from Lehman, and Willow Star getting home hard down the outside. Sungai Wong can't win. It's Willow Star about a neck in front from Lehman. Willow Star, the leader, close to home. Navarro getting home hard, but Willow Star is too good, and Willow Star wins it by 2 lengths, Navarro. Lehman has run third. Advice.
It's been a long time between wins for a disappointing Willow Star, but he got the money yesterday at Caulfield at 5-1 from Lavaro and Lehman, and Advice disappointing after his great run at Sandown last week. Keith spoke with jockey Gary Willits after the race.
Gary Willow Star right back to his best form today.
Yes, Keith, I thought he'd run a very big race today. He's run last start here, and that welter was very good, and he's gone on and made the improvement necessary, and he's done a good job today.
Well, he gave them about 6 or 7 lengths start, and that's often hard to do at Caulfield.
That's right, but that's the way you've got to ride Willow Star, and he always finds something in a finish, and you know, those horses sort of going down the side, there was plenty of pace on, and I've had a lovely run in the race and just come in at the right time, and he's got away good.
We're lucky people doing things.
Not here, but we saw yet another New Zealand visitor take the money.
Break then to Sir Saab, followed by Little Anna, homebound on a bad last there, Bronze Cardinal. Homeward bound inside the 400-metre mark. Registrar has been wide, but got to the front here from Tally Bay along the inside rail. Back behind them is Second Duty, there followed Water At by Stainford, and down the outside is Barry Stewart running on resolutely. Inside the 200 metres mark, Ryder Clear being tackled by Second Duty, Tally Bay coming again, and Stainford and Barry Stewart is right down the outside. Ryder in front, about 80 metres to go. Barry Stewart is flying home down the outside, and it's going to beat them all. Barry Stewart wins it by a length and a half to Ryder. Second Duty has run third, then Stainford.
Impressive performance by Barry Stewart with Harry White in the saddle at 9-2. He ran on very strongly at the finish and was actually being eased up on the line. Let's see what trainer Bill Reading had to say after the race.
Bill, Barry Stewart's a pretty good racehorse.
Yeah, it surprised me. I thought he was a bit fat, actually, but...
So we can expect to see him improve on that run?
Well, I would hope he would.
Well, Harry White got into some trouble, or trouble happened early in the race. Did you think that would have put Barry Stewart out of the race?
I was turning for home when he started to move on him. I knew he's got a terrific finish, so I knew then that providing he got a decent run, he'd be right.
That's his pattern of racing, is it?
Yeah.
So that'll suit him when he gets to the bigger tracks, say Flemington.
Yeah, it will.
And in race 6, Torbeck, 10-9 on favourite, yet another New Zealander.
Well back in the field, White Tangaroo, followed further back by Big Print, Marlborough, and Rough and Toughest tailed out a bad last. Coming around the home turn at the 300 metres mark, the leader was Totenera from Dawn Command. Torbeck is running third, but starting to labour. And back behind them was Victoria Peak, followed by Rams Kingdom. 100 metres to go. Totenera clear. Torbeck is going through along the inside rail, but Totenera stood in front, about 80 metres to go. Torbeck is cutting it down along the inside rail. Totenera being tackled by Torbeck. They hit the line, got up. Torbeck has won it. Torbeck wins it by a good head to Totenera. Dawn Command has run third, therefore.
Backers of the favourite had plenty of worries before he got the money, but Torbeck was just too good. The Quinella there paid $2.40, the Trifecta $25.50, and Keith spoke with top New Zealand jockey Maurice Campbell after the race.
Maurice, Torbeck seemed to be struggling a bit after the home turn, but he showed his courage to get up and win.
Well, when they're running times, whatever they did, close to 58, everything's got to be struggling when things are running hard up front. But he was struggling.
Well, you use your whip in your left hand. Is that your natural hand, Maurice?
Yeah, I'm a natural left-hander, yeah.
Well, you've made these infrequent visits from New Zealand. Any chance of settling over here?
No.
It only happens once a year. The sale. Out they go, direct from Roger David London Store's warehouse. Suits, some with vests, or sports coat and slack, just $89. Yes, an outfit for $89. Out they go. Or these great-looking lamb's wool pullovers, only $10. And these are just some of the bargains. Slacks, $14. Large size range, out they go. Shirts, 10,000 of them. Knits, toweling business, only $7. It's the sale at Roger David London Stores, who keep you looking good.
Race 7 and Silver Bounty was the favourite, but it was a big result for the books.
Then came River Qua on the outside of Hellmark, followed by Backwater Trader, gone losing ground. A break then to Transboy, followed further back by La Rue. Around the home turn inside the 300-metre mark, the leader was on the outside, Silver Bounty being tackled by Hellmark. And Yamasan is getting home hard down the outside. The favourite is no good thing. Hellmark has gone to the front, about 100 metres to go, starting to draw clear from Silver Bounty, and Yamasan down the outside. But Hellmark for the money, starting to draw right away to win easily. Hellmark down to the line has won it by 2.5 to 3 lengths, putting up to Silver Bounty. Yamasan has run third.
Quite easy win at the finish for Hellmark in race 7 from Silver Bounty and Yamasan, and good to see former jockey Bobby Jury training his first city winner. He spoke with Keith Hillier after the race.
Bob, I don't know how many roughies you won on as a rider, but here you are bobbed up with another roughie, your first time as a trainer in town.
Yes, Keith, bit of surprise. His form hasn't been good on wet tracks. He ran third at Yarra Glen on a concrete track. It was very hard there, and he ran third. He ran fourth on a good track at Mornington. Well, when I say good track, it became heavier in the day. It was the first race of the day, so he had the first crack of it. And the track was fairly good for that. I've given him 3 runs on heavy tracks since, and he's been very disappointing.
And in race 8, our epilogue started favourite, found the 59 kilos too much on the heavy track.
Then came Lada's Dream. Sando's gone to the outside, and back behind them was General Flight, Lee Rani, and a break into high play, and Fierno Winter's not in the race at the moment. Coming down to the 200-metre mark, the leader Consular from Nicky the outside, and down the outside is Sando starting to wind up, and behind them was Lee Rani. Fierno Winter's gone. About 80 metres to go. Consular clear from Nicky. Sando down the outside, but Consular in front close to home, and Consular's going to be too good. Consular an all-the-way win, has won it by 2.5 lengths to Nicky, then Sando third.
A gay deceiver, Consular found his best form yesterday to win at 10-1 from Naku and Sandow, and our epilogue, as I said, finding the weight a little bit too much on the heavy track. After this break, we'll see the final event from Caulfield.
The Lucky Shop, TAB is the Lucky Shop.
Well, it'll be another 4 years before we get another chance at winning gold in the Olympics. But right now, there's plenty of gold to be won back here. Every week, the TAB Lucky Shop pays out $10 million. And before Bill gets back from Moscow, I'll be raking in the gold with his lucky numbers. So bring plenty of vodka, Bill, and lots of luck with your numbers at the TAB Lucky Shop.
Shop in the streets, it's the TAB.
In the last, Countess Ida was back from 5-1 to start favourite at 7-2.
Back behind them was Swift Words out very wide. Heartsy is deep and there, followed by Countess Louise wanting a run badly. And behind them was Super Spree, but around the home turn inside the 300-metre mark, the leader Sheer Satin tackled now by Record Breaker, a straight shooter rather getting out. Behind them was Countess Ida. Down the outside is Super Spree starting to wind up and coming hard. 100 metres to go. The leader was Sheer Satin from Countess Ida, and Super Spree is flying home down the outside. Super Spree put his head in front. Here's Faint Flush from the clouds, but they hit the line, and Super Spree has done best. Super Spree has won, no risk from Faint Flush, and on the inside is Sheer Satin.
Impressive first up win by the Bletchingley mare Super Spree at 4-1. The unplaced favourite Countess Ida. The last race, Quinella paid $33.45, and Keith spoke with trainer Angus Armanasco after the race.
Well, Angus, a magnificent first-up run by Super Spree.
Oh, it was, Keith. You know, that was her first run for 6 months, and what a gutsy performance it was.
Well, you must have also been delighted to provide a first-up winner, or a first-day winner, for Mick Dittman.
Yes, that'll do both Mick and I a lot of good. We'll go out and celebrate tonight.
Right, let's check the doubles now from yesterday's meetings throughout Australia. First of all, the extra double in Melbourne for a pair of ones paid $5.05. The main double, 4 and 10, $23.15. In Sydney, 8 and 5, returned $54.45. The Adelaide dividend for 6 and 9 was $48.35. At Woodend, 12 and 6, returned $124.55. The two-state double, 5 and 2, $52.30. And the quadrilla at Caulfield yesterday, 1, 4, 9 and 2, $212.75. That was racing throughout Australia yesterday, seen through the eyes of the Channel 7 cameras, recalls by Ray Benson.